This segment sponsored by the Indiana soybean and corn farmers. Today we are kicking off our Growing for the Future series, diving deeper into agriculture and learning all about farming. I am here in Warren, Indiana at a fourth generation farm, and I'm so excited to speak with the farmer. Let's do it. Joining me now is Brian Warpup, a director with the Indiana Soybean Alliance. Hi, how are you?
Doing very well today, thanks.
Good, so it's such a beautiful day and we're standing out on your family farm and I'm so excited to learn more. So through this series, we really want to learn about farming and just all the nuances, aspects, and also just the way that you all impact our community.
Sure.
So first, start by sharing with me about the Alliance.
Yeah, I'm a director, one of the directors on the Indiana Soybean Alliance, and we take the checkoff dollars that each of the farmers pay into a fund who grows soybeans, and we reinvest that into multiple aspects to help promote soybeans in Indiana.
Okay, that's very cool. And so I know as we were walking over, you told me that you will just planted brand new seeds, right?
Yep.
So share with me what you will be growing over here.
So where we're standing, we're going to be growing corn in this field this year. I'm a corn and soybean farmer. We rotate those crops every other year. But yeah, a lot of our after harvest, a lot of it goes to local markets.
Okay, that's awesome. So what are you farming this year?
Here?
Yes.
Corn.
Corn.
Yeah, corn.
Okay, so every other year. So tell me about that process.
So this was soybeans last year, and then as it wintered on, we plant corn this year. We feel that the health of the soil is better in a rotation of rotating certain different crops instead of one continuous crop. So that's why we kind of rotate them.
Okay, and so what time of year do you start the planting process?
Here on this farm, usually the middle of April, we're thinking about it.
Okay.
We'd like to get started at the end of April, but by the time May 1st gets here, those 2-3 weeks of May, it's go time, and because our window starts closing because of the weather and the growing season due to where we're at in Indiana.
Okay, and why do you feel that local farmers are so essential?
We're part of the community. We've been in the community sometimes over 100 years. I'm a fourth generation farmer. We've been here over 100 years.
That's awesome.
So the longevity of the family business, we're very tied to the community. So the investments that are done within the community not only impact me, but impact generations to come.
Yeah, that is so awesome. And we're standing here right in front of this big tractor behind us. I mean, this is a mega tractor that probably the largest that I've ever seen. And it has to take a lot of skill and just nuances to run this tractor. So kind of share with me, what are we looking at and what does this tractor do in particular?
Yeah, so this tractor here, this is our corn planting tractor. We have a corn planter hooked up behind the tractor. It has multiple jobs that we do. But a lot of the technology, it's a lot easier than it was, a generation or two ago because of all the technology that's changed. But yeah, it's comfortable, but yet it does what we need it to do.
Okay, so let's dive deeper into the technology aspect of it. So share with me some of the functionality.
The functionality of the tractor is to operate the planter, and we have several different types of monitors inside the cab that tell us what's going on back here with the planter, whether that be seed population, how much fertilizer is going on. If there's a problem, that's one of the main components of what we're doing, that if there's an issue, we can diagnose that issue within seconds.
Oh, wow.
Whereas 40, 50 years ago, you didn't know it until the corn came up or didn't come up. And so it's made us a lot more efficient.
So Brian, we were talking about the technology. So can you kind of break down what is happening on the back end of the tractor?
Okay, this planter here is our corn planter. We have fertilizer in the big yellow tank. It's a liquid fertilizer, and it gives proper nutrients up front for that corn plant, that once it starts growing, it has some food to eat. This is where the corn seed is stored, and here's where the technology happens and comes down, and that is a closing wheel. And what that does is it opens the furrow, and then it drops the seed in, it firms it, and then it closes with these. So it throws the dirt back on it. So it's planted.
Okay.
And it counts every seed, it counts every placement, it counts, we have, like I said, there's many different components of what we're trying to monitor at the time.
Yes, and it knows exactly how often to disperse it. Okay, very cool. Can we look on the inside?
This is what it looks like. It's not yellow because it has a seed treatment on it. It has fungicide, insecticide, things to try to protect that kernel. So if the weather turns a little damp, it won't rot.
So does it start off yellow, but then
it's a
the
yellow.
product?
It's yellow, and there's a product that's put on there to kind of keep it safe while it's been around.
So what is the difference between the purple and the blue?
Those are two different kinds. We have certain technology that is bred into this one that's not bred into that one.
Oh.
So we have to have two different kinds out here so we don't have immunity to those things.
That is so cool. It's so pretty. Who knew? Seeds start off so pretty, these corn seeds. Okay, and then they get planted, and then you go through the process of checking to make sure that the seeds are where they are
where they
supposed
need to be. And if they're not, I mean, we do it with the tractor, but it's good to have, literally boots on the ground, checking everything, making sure it's good. Plus, I'm a farmer, and I like to
double
to dig
check
in
the
there.
work. Yes, as we're talking about, technology is great, but the manual aspect is even better. Okay, well, let's rev this baby up and take it for a drive.
Let's roll.
So share with me about the manual aspect. Are you still having to do a lot of manual work nowadays?
Yeah, I still do manual work, a lot of it around it, but as far as actual planting and being out in the elements, whether it be too hot, too cold, or whatever, we are in a comfortable cab. It is comfortable. But yeah, we get dirty all the time and because we have to do things.
Yes. Well, has the technology increased your ability to get more done at a quicker pace, and also I'm not going to say replace, but does it allow for you to use less people?
Without a doubt. We have larger machinery than we did in the past. The machinery is getting larger. Again, we're just more efficient.
Yes.
It allows us to be more precise in what we do. We won't over apply a product or under apply a product. It allows us to put the exact product where it needs to be at the right time, and we're able to monitor that in the tractor.
Right, and as you all are traveling from location to location, field to field, I know you have to travel sometimes on the road, right?
Yes. Yeah, all of our fields are not connected, so we do have to use county roads, state highways to move from one farm to the other. Again, we're very large, but our equipment is large. We fold it in and make it as compact as we can to get down the road. But yeah, we're big and slow on the road, and we do our best.
Okay, because I'm sure we've all experienced driving and we see a tractor, right? And I think there's no established protocol. Like, what do? We know what to do if we see, so many other types of vehicles on the road. What do we do when we see a tractor? How can we help?
If you're coming behind a tractor or a piece of equipment, we're only going about 20 or 25 miles an hour. So that approach is going to come much faster than if it was a car. So just slow down. We will try to get over as much as we can. Sometimes we can't, but just be patient. I think that's the number one thing, because I know you want to get home or to your activity, but we want to go to our activity as well. We don't want to be out there on the roads, but in order for us to go to our fields, we have to use it as careful as we can.
Right. Okay. So patience and just slowing down.
Slow down.
Yeah. And if you have to pass, just finding
with
the
caution.
appropriate time.
Appropriate time
caution.
to pass. Yes.
Okay, I love that. So, Brian, share with me just what will we be able to learn throughout this series? I'm really excited because as we learn new things on the show, we get to dive into areas that maybe we're not familiar with. So with farming, this is the season, and it's a whole new topic.
Sure, and I think everybody has a stereotype of a farmer, and it's those bib overalls and straw hat, and that's really not the case. Technology on the farms are probably more advanced than a lot of your own homes or your own lives. And it allows us to to do the things more efficient, like I said earlier, but just to be as cost effective and just give us some longevity in the farm, because we do pass it down from generation to generation. And so it's very important to us to keep that.
Okay, very cool. Well, I'm excited because as we continue to talk, we're gonna get our hands dirty over the weeks. You know, I'm gonna dive in, I'm gonna do farming, and I'm going to learn from you and just learn just what all it takes to make the proper crop and how you all really give us what we need for the community. So thank you so much for joining me today. Yes, and stay tuned for our series, Growing for the Future. We'll be right back. This segment sponsored by the Indiana Soybean and Corn Farmers.